think things are so much better. Like, I think me as a person, I feel like I'm a lot more relaxed. I'm not as stressed. I feel like I'm a better wife. I feel like I'm a better mum. I feel like I'm a better friend. Like, I feel like I'm just a better person because a lot of pressure that was there from running your own business has kind of been removed. And yes, I started something completely new, but I could see the benefit of what starting something completely new would do for me, for my life, for my family, for my kids, my husband. And so I just feel like I'm a much better person. I'm a lot more, and I have a lot more time, so I feel like I can learn.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Eman and Mimi podcast. Myself, Emmanuel Suko.
And Mary Masuko.
How are you, Mimi?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm sad.
Why?
It's the last episode of 2023. 2022. Wow. We're going into 2023. It's the last episode of 2022. It's emotional.
Is it?
It's emotional.
Okay. But it's like new year, new beginnings, fresh, new start, or kind of new start, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, for me, the end of the year is like a reflection, isn't it? When you look back on the past year, like, and I think let's start with you. Like, how was your?
No, let's start with you.
No, let's start with you.
I think we should start with you.
I definitely think ladies first. You're looking like a sweet pineapple. Like you start.
Why are you even saying that? Why did you? It's because of that podcast you watched. That's why pineapple is in your head, or maybe it's because my hair is up in a bun, so I look like a pineapple.
I'm not really saying you look like a pineapple. Pineapples are sweet. I thought of something sweet. Pineapples are sweet. You are sweet. Sweet pineapple.
Okay.
Now, talk to me. When you came into 2022, tell the people, what were you thinking? 2022, beginning of 2022, what were you thinking for this year?
For this year, for 2022, I was thinking I need to get a job. That was what I was thinking. So that was on my focus. I had finished taking a course to better myself, and I was in the process of like, yep, I've done this, now it's to get a job. That was where my focus
Why?
was.
You're going to get rushed? Like, this is a...
Why? Okay,
this is a podcast, right? You take time. You don't just start and go straight to the end. Okay. It's about the processes. Why? What was going on at the time that you thought like, okay, cool, I need to make this transition from self-employment to employment? Okay,
so there's a bit of a backstory. So as most people know, I run or used to run a cake business, which I've been doing for a while.
We've done an episode on that.
Yeah. And through the pandemic, I had realised, or before the pandemic, I kind of realised, but the pandemic kind of cemented my decision that I didn't want to do it anymore, or in a certain capacity, and I wanted to try and change how it was going, but at the same time I realised I needed something a bit more steady. There's a lot more into it, but that's the short version of it. And my husband, God bless him, had been introduced to an avenue which he introduced to me, which gave me the segue into doing something different. And yeah, I think that's about it. Doing something different.
Your storytelling is absolutely atrocious. So basically, me and been doing the cake business for a while. You got fed up of the cake business, the money up and down. Yes. You felt like the type of clientele that you're dealing with, some of them can be quite difficult, and you felt like you're doing long hours in the kitchen. That's fair to say. You did long hours with the kids, which meant that sometimes you weren't able to be with the kids. I'm doing long hours doing my business as well. The two of us doing long hours wasn't really great for our home environment, and so you made the decision that you felt it was best to make a change because you weren't really getting satisfied with cakes. I kind of wanted you to carry on doing cakes because I like you being your own boss and being in control of your time. But the reality is as much as that sounds great, the reality is that you didn't feel like you were being your own boss, and you didn't feel like you were in control of your time, and you felt like you were working really long hours, and then at the end of the month it wasn't really as much money as what you thought. So you felt that employment would allow you to get more peace of mind. At least you know how much you're going to get each month. And then I had a client who did a business analyst course. It went really well for them, so then I spoke to that person, and then I got them to speak to you. You were happy to do it. I paid for the course. you done the course. It was quite long. Talk to people about doing the course, because there's one thing about wanting to do self-development. There's one thing about wanting to change, but it's not instant. I think we live in a very Instagram and social media and whatever makes you feel like someone. Yes, I had an idea to buy a house. Now I own 10. Like it happened in, do you know what I mean? 10 days. Do you know what I mean? But the reality is it takes time. So you're on this journey. You're doing the course. The course is quite tough. You're learning a new skill. You haven't been to uni for how long? Do you know what I mean? Since you last studied something. What was that like? Knowing that you need to do this to improve yourself, but you're not necessarily enjoying doing it.
I think I definitely wasn't enjoying it, and I think there was a lot of factors into what made it unenjoyable. Trying to run a home, supporting my husband, and trying to run a business at the same time, and then at night you have to come and sometimes I'll be in the kitchen listening to my course but doing cakes at the same time, and I just kept telling myself, I'm not gonna lie, there were times I wanted to give up, and I'm lucky I had a great support system that was like, just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. It was difficult, I'm not gonna lie. I was happy when I came to the end of it, because I was like, finally I get my evenings, because it was like 2 days a week, but and then some weekends as well, so it was kind of a really, really involved process. And you needed to have the discipline to stick. You need to have the discipline to stick through, because it's not always going to be easy, especially when you have, like Emmanuel's been out of education for a very long time. So, but I'm happy that I came out of it at the other end, and like I said, I'm grateful for the support system I had, and who kept pushing me and encouraging me to keep doing it, because I guess they could see the bigger picture when I couldn't see it.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So you've done that. You've done the course now, and now you're starting to apply. So that's now this year, 2022. So you finished the course in 2021.
Towards the end of basically then. You
finished the course in 2021, and then you started applying for jobs in 2022. Okay. So how did that process go?
That one was hard as well, because I kind of had it in my head that I'm going to finish this, apply, and it's going to be like, yes, keep going. Oh gosh, no. It was a lot of going back and forth. It was a lot of self-reflection. It was a lot of getting confidence in myself and believing that it was possible. And I'm not going to lie, it was a hard process. It took a good 4 or 5 months. There was a time I even came to Emmanuel and I said, look, this isn't working, because I had to sort of step back away from cakes to really focus on it. And so I felt like my money was a bit low, but I'm grateful because Emmanuel stepped up and was like, look, just focus on this, I've got you. And so it gave me a bit of breathing room to be like, okay, let me just put my all into just applying. And it got to the point where I was like, babes, this is not working. If I don't get anything before the end of May, I said to you, I'm gonna just know that my life is cakes type thing. And by end of May, I got a job, which I feel like it was God kind of saying, affirming all the hard work that we have put through the year, to say like, my child, you have done the work, now I'm going to reward you for sticking through it and not giving up, because I was ready to be like, you know what, I'll just stick with cakes, I'm good at it, and that will be me. So yeah.
I think a few things there again. You're just rushing,
because there's no time, and then we still have to come and speak to you.
Yeah, so. But it's alright. We're not going to rush the podcast. Let's take our time with it. Okay. So obviously, I think there's a few things that, number one, you realise that when you're applying, that you have to be applying all the time. You have to be on. You need to be applying. You need to be answering phones to recruiters. You need to be, updating on your CV. You're doing other little mini courses to get even more experience and more qualifications. You're watching videos on YouTube from recruiters about different things within the area of business analysts that you're looking at. So you're learning stuff. You're learning stuff online. You were talking to other business analysts. You were going to sit with other business analysts, people that are actually doing the job, and seeing what their team meetings were like and all of that type of stuff. So you're really soaking in a lot of information, which meant that you realise that you can't do all that and still do cakes the same. And so, we came to an agreement that, okay, for this time while you're doing it, I'll cover your expenses so that you don't have to worry about that, and you can just focus on finding a job. And I think, number one, it's great it shows, number one, it shows that even though you've done the course, no one said getting a job is going to be easy.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you think, okay, I've done a course now they must employ me.
Yeah, I was very naive.
Yeah, you have to understand that there were loads of people who are already doing the job that are going to be applying, people who have the experience that are going to be, every time you apply for a job, you're not the only one applying for it, do you know what I mean? So it's not that they don't want to hire you, there's just someone better, someone just got more experience or more skills or has done the exact same thing at another company, so it takes a while to get a job.
Yeah.
Especially as you wanted something remote as well.
Yeah.
You wanted something that you could work from home and again, you know, more as the beginning of this year, more and more people start to go back to the office, so people want at least 1 day, 2 days in the office. That's not what you're looking for. So you're looking for a very niche role.
Recruiter told me like I'm looking for a unicorn.
Yeah, you're looking for a very niche role, and so because of that, you need to be realistic in your time horizon, like, and you need to give it a chance and just really put it. Then 2 is like, okay, if I really want it, what do I need to do? So then I'm really proud of you because you threw yourself in it in regards to like every day you were going on websites, you were searching new jobs, you were creating CVs for particular roles. Like, so you wouldn't just find a job, you'd find that job and then you read for the job description so that you match more, and you do that for every single job that you apply for. Just tailor it till you had about 6-7 versions of your CV, and then you just knew, okay, that one fitted for this role and that one fits for that role and so forth. So you really threw yourself in there. You got feedback. So when you did get interviews and you didn't get the job, you got feedback to find out why you didn't get it, what was missing, what could you do more on. You were studying a course as well to get a qualification so that your knowledge was better. Like, you really threw yourself in there, and I'm so proud of you for doing that. But I think finally the big thing is that it's important to have a support system. Yeah. Like, because there was a time where you kept hearing no, or you kept applying and getting rejected, and for whatever reason, and you almost wanted to give up. Yeah. And you were literally weeks away from getting a job. Yeah. And you almost gave up weeks before. And if it wasn't like to have that conversation, to have someone, and look, yes, we're married, so we can support one another. Yeah. But if you're watching and you're single, you can still have an accountability partner. You can still have a best friend or someone or a sibling or whatever that can push you and hold you accountable to what you said you wanted to do, and because of that, you gave it enough time for it to fruition. I knew that even if you never got it in May, I still would have covered you, I still would have supported you, so you could carry on until you get it, because that's your dream. Do you know what I mean? So I think I'm just really proud of you. So talk to them now that you're in it, you're doing the job. How has things been?
I think things are so much better. Like, I think me as a person, I feel like I'm a lot more relaxed. I'm not as stressed. I feel like I'm a better wife. I feel like I'm a better mum. I feel like I'm a better friend. Like, I feel like I'm just a better person, because a lot of pressure that was there from running your own business has kind of been removed. And yes, I started something completely new, but I could see the benefit of what starting something completely new would do for me, for my life, for my family, for my kids, my husband. And so I just feel like I'm a much better person. I'm a lot more, and I have a lot more time, so I feel like I can lend myself more to doing other things. Like, my weekends are my own. I don't have to feel like, I have to wait for people to come and get cakes and be annoyed that they don't come on time or they don't care about my time. Like, I'm just like, fam, when I wake up on Saturdays, I'm like, yeah, my time is my own, except we have stuff that we're doing with the kids and stuff. So yeah, it's beautiful. Like, I'm loving it.
Yeah, and I agree. I think, like, you've really thrown yourself in it, in the job you're doing really well at it, and I'm really proud of you. I hear you in meetings and I'm like, yeah, that's my wife. Like, yeah, you're giving it to them. Like I can see your confidence growing day by day by day, and that makes me happy as a husband and as a best friend. Like I'm just happy that I got my best friend back. Do you know what I mean? So it means a lot to me. And then, like, just in regards to, I feel like we've realised in our relationship that it doesn't make sense both of us being self-employed at this point in time, because our kids need a lot of attention, and they need more structure, and so we have to. One of us had to go employed. So thank you for doing that, and bringing that stability and so forth. And I'm glad how it's been able to help us. How it's been able to work for us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely. And I feel like another thing that we learned this year, especially with how Emmanuel's work business is, that one of us had, like Emmanuel said, has had to be stable so that he can be flexible in what he does, because he can get called to film at a drop of a hat, he can get called to go do events at a drop of a hat, and one of us, like he said, has to always be present. And yes, fair enough, you might say, oh, the woman is always the one, but that's just the nature of our careers. If it was on the flip side, I'm sure that he would step up to the plate and be like, yes, Mims. Do you know what I mean? It's just the way the nature of our career progression has gone, and I'm happy to do that, because I know that our kids are better off people for that, to be honest. So yeah.
Oh, amazing. Is there anything else this year that you wanna talk about or reflect other than the job?
I think everything is intertwined together, because everything is a catalyst for something else, and I feel like taking one pressure away has opened the doors for another thing to come in, and I feel like I've grown as a person. I feel like I've got a bit of confidence back in myself, so there's certain things I probably wouldn't have looked at doing before. Even within my cake business, I've decided I'm just going to go completely and do wedding cakes. Whether or not I get bookings or not, that's what I'm going to do, but at the same time I'm doing something that allows me the freedom to pursue that. Whether it works or not, we will see. But yeah, it's just been, this year has been a year of growth. It's been a year of self-discovery, and it's just been a year of building the foundations between us and making them even stronger as we go into 2023. Sorry. Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna turn the floor to you, my G.
Yeah, the floor to me.
How has this year been for you?
Yeah, this year's been great, man. It's been a great year. A lot of things I dreamed about have come true. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, if you've been watching the podcast, you know that I got a book deal this year, which is amazing. It's a big challenge, something that I was always kind of fighting against, because I just felt like writing's not my number one skill. So, you know, I was trying to hide from it, but I actually quite enjoyed it, and actually realised I'm a much better writer than what I thought, and give myself credit for, and I'm confident, you know, that's something that I'm going to keep building in the future as we go forward. And you know, we've done the announcement now, and the announcement's been amazing, like doing the announcement on social media, the amount of people that have, you know, bought the book already, the amount of people that have supported. It's just been so amazing to see the amount of messages I've got, the amount of words of encouragement. Yeah, I'm just honoured to be able to represent my community and my people on this type of stage, and you know, have a book, have my knowledge that I've, you know, something that I've been doing for over 15 years, now be able to put that into a book and be able to help as many people as possible. Do you know what I mean? I'm hoping that, you know, we sell thousands and thousands of books and it reaches the masses. So that's been amazing. Do you know what I mean? Obviously we did the Money on Your Mind with Channel 4 and Barclays, and why that was really special to me was that I used to work at Barclays. So Barclays was the first place I started as a cashier. In regards to my banking career, I started in Barclays as a cashier. And one of the clips from episode 1 was basically me with a lawnmower. And basically they took that clip and they put that clip on loop in every branch. So every 4 or 5 minutes, you know, all the new branches have like TV screens and stuff like that. And for like a good 3 or 4 months, for every 4 or 5 minutes, that clip would play in every Barclays branch throughout the country. And it was just like, it's just so amazing how I can go from being a cashier, you know, leaving, and now coming back and, you know, being in every branch in the country. It's just powerful. So that was a really special moment. And, you know, obviously Barclays announced it on their intranet, and I had loads of colleagues that I used to work with when I was at Barclays message me on Facebook, Instagram, you know, LinkedIn, and just say, well done, we saw the announcement, it's amazing, everything you're doing. So that was really good. And then the feedback off the show was amazing as well, so that did great. You know, I did Jeremy Vine, which is just another amazing moment, you know, to be on Channel 5 morning, you know, doing that regularly, you know, is wonderful. So that, like, hey, when I tell you that it's just non-stop. Some of the events that I've spoken at, the places that I've gone. Do you know what I mean? We did a documentary with BBC where they went back to my old council estate and showed people me helping people and my journey. Like, did I ever think I'd be doing a documentary? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just non-stop tick box exercise. Do you know what I mean? So for me, this year has been, you know, I call it, you know, I'm reaping. Like, I've been sowing for so many years. I've been putting in the work, and nobody's seen, and nobody's cared, but everyone's busy doing what they're doing, innit? So you're working hard, but it's going out without being noticed. But now it's like, wow, Eman, you're doing this, you're doing that, this is amazing, that's amazing. And it's like so many things being seen. And, you know, we're sowing, we're reaping now, but there's so many more things coming next year.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm so excited for what 2023 has in hold and has in store. So it's been a very special year. But I think, you know, even my relationship with the kids has, you know, been so much better in regards to being more present. You know, I think I spent you know, quite a few years, like I said, I was sewing, so I wasn't around as much as I'd like to be. But now, you know, this year I've been able to be around a lot more, help them with their homework a lot more, spend more time with them, especially as I've got, you know, young boys that are becoming, you know, teenagers and so forth, so soon to become teenagers, you know, to really instill what it is to be a man and so forth, and show them that those examples, I think is really important. So that's been amazing. And then obviously, you know, our relationship, how that's really grown, how you've come into the business and worked more in my business, and, you know, it's been wonderful working with you. It's funny how we used to have very separate businesses.
Yeah.
And then lockdown happened, and obviously the cakes, you couldn't go and do cakes, so it's like, okay, you're gonna come and work with me, and then you came to work with me in my business, and then, you know, we kind of realised that we kind of work well together. I guess which would make sense because we're married, but that's not always the case.
Yeah,
you know? But we worked well together, and it's like, okay, cool. We worked from there, and now, do you know what I mean? It's just grown and grown and grown, and so yeah, it's been an honour. It's been an honour. This year has been an honour, and yeah, I just feel like I look back at the year, and I just hope you feel like, you know what, I made the right decision, you know, like marrying this guy, like, you know. He's a little crazy, but I'm happy I said yes, and I'm happy, like, with all that we built. And, you know, I know it's difficult, babe. You know, like, I know when you might not always say it out loud, but I know that it's not easy because you have to share me with a lot of people. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because, you know, the gift that God gave me, my calling, the thing that I do, and I love helping people, that takes me outside. Do you know what I mean? That takes me away, especially now. Before, I guess 2021 last year wasn't too bad because we had a lot of online. We're still quite online because of the pandemic, and obviously 2020 was quite a lot of online. But now everything's opened up and we're back out, and I know it can be hard, and I've got events here, and then you get to the weekend and I've got events on the weekend and talks on the weekend, and, do you know, it's like balance. And I think that's something I'm learning to understand, that, you know, I've got to prioritise my time and say no a lot more. And I think next year is going to be a very tough year because I'm going to have to say no quite a lot to a lot of things that I would normally say yes to because it's my passion, it's what I love doing. But I have to understand that for me it's about impact, and to have the maximum amount of impact I have to focus on the things that have a bigger reach, and start to give up some of the things that I do that are more personal and more things that give me enjoyment and so forth. And obviously there are other up and coming, you know, financial experts and people that are in this industry that can take over that. So the work will get done, and people will get looked after. But I've just got to realise my place in that and know what I need to do to bring it forward. So I appreciate you. I appreciate your support and everything. And, you know, I want us to enjoy more. I want you know, come next year, I want us to have more fun together. I want us to go out more. The kids are getting older. We can get babysitting and all that type of stuff. I want us to you know, to live more and do more. But yeah, this year's been amazing, and I couldn't have done it without you.
I think we've both supported each other this year, and there hasn't been any ego in there. It's just been, how can I help you be the best version of yourself? Because if we work, our house works, and everything else works.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, it starts from both of us being on the same page most of the time. Sometimes we're not, but that's normal. That's married life. That's life in general. So yeah.
So yeah, people, man, I just think, you know, come to the end of the year, are there any things that you really you're taking away from this year? Like, are there any big things you've learned in 2022 that you're saying, wow, I've discovered this about myself, or discovered this about my kids or my partner or the world, or like, is there anything that you've really learned this year that you're taking like a life lesson?
I think it's to trust. Ultimately, I trust in God. In whatever decisions I make, God is always at the forefront. It's so funny because I was lying down the other day and I was asking, you know, if you're lying down in your bed, you can't sleep, you're asking yourself questions, and I was asking myself, like, Mims, did you really make the right decision in giving up cakes? The way the yes slapped my head, yeah, I was like, wow, I've never got such a more definite answer on a question ever. Like, the yes just came like a resounding sound in my brain, and I was like, wow, okay, God, I got you, I hear you, do you know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to seeing what 2023 brings and being open to the possibility of what next year is going to bring. I think one thing for me is that I can be a closed off person, and in as much as I trust Emmanuel with every fibre of my being, sometimes I don't trust in myself and my ability. So I think one thing I've learned this year is to trust in God, trust in my partner and what he sees, what the vision he sees of me, and trusting in myself that it will come to pass. Yeah,
no, definitely. I love that. I think I've learned so much this year.
What's your main takeaway?
I can't even do like one main. Like, I feel like I've learned there's power in saying no. I've learned that, especially if you're a person that's got a giving heart, that people will just exploit it. Like you've got to you've got to protect yourself. Like, do you know what I mean? Because not on purpose, but people are selfish. Do you know what I mean? So if I can get something from you, or if you can help me I'm gonna try and take it, because that's what I need and I want. And where you might be like me, I'm a person that wants to help everybody. Yeah. But actually, people are thinking, wow, you know, who's helping Eman? Yeah. Oh, I messaged an Eman at 11 o'clock at night. Might Eman be tired? Or I've messaged Eman, asked him a question, and he's been kind enough to answer my question, and now I want to ask another 10 questions, like, and I don't want to pay, but I know if I was outside I'd have to pay for this advice. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, actually, the more you try and just want to help people, the more people are going to take. Yeah. And actually, I had to realize that I now, like, and you know, trust me, guys, you're going to see it come next year, because we're hiring in, and you know. And like a lot of things like social media, it's not going to be me on the social media anymore. Like, the content will be there, but I'm going to have someone that's going to be a community manager, that's going to manage the community that I have on social media, to make sure that we're finding people to give them the help in the right places. You know, I'm creating courses now that we're going to be releasing, so that, you know, you don't need to hear from me one-on-one. You can get the course. We're going to have the book, so again, you can, if you've got questions, you can get the information from the book. It's going to be less on me, so that I've got these tools that I'm now going to use to empower people, so that people can run the race and shape their finances and shape building wealth and what it means for them. But I just feel like it's been difficult getting here. Yeah. And then I just feel like also one of the big lessons I learned was, you know, creating income streams for myself that I control. Yeah. So what I found was that I was making a lot of money, but it was coming from TV and corporates and all of this type of stuff. And it's like, what if you're not the flavour of the month anymore? Do you know what I mean? Luckily for me, I'm still their flavour, and they're still booking. But I realised that I have to create my own lanes, and that's just why I'm creating the courses and, you know, creating my own lanes, so that when they're gone. So yeah, those are my main takeaways. Mimi? I think we've had a good conversation. I know we'll be back in the new year with more things to talk about, more lessons to share, and just what we look forward to 2023 being. Yeah. So happy New Year. Wishing you all the best for the new year. Keep watching the podcast, keep liking, keep subscribing, keep sharing, and we'll keep in touch, and we'll see you in the new year with some new content and some new goals, some new ideas. Blessings.
Thank you.